Okay. I am going to share my screen, so I don't believe you'll be able to see me. You should be seeing the syllabus. If you could take your, or at least one person, let me know, either a thumb. Okay, good. Thank you, Pamela. So like I said, this is leadership in adult education venues. The book is Leadership Theory and Practice, the 8th edition by Peter G. Northouse. If you purchased that one already, great. I also don't mind if you work out of the 7th edition. There is a chapter that's in the 8th edition that's not in the 7th edition that we do go over. So that's kind of your risk, but everything else is generally about the same. So feel free, if you do have access to the 7th edition, to use that. I'm not going to go through all of the university statements. You guys can read all of that on your own. And it's the same thing for all of your other courses. The biggest issue in this class, the biggest hurdle that people run into, is the final, which is a 10 to 12 page research paper. We go through this in steps. So if you keep up and you do the work, it shouldn't be quite as hard. One thing I'm going to make sure you guys know, if you've never written a paper in APA style before, you're going to need to use our Academic Success Center, the Purdue OWL website. There's a Word function. All of that is in the course that you can find. But I think Mr. Cherry is his name in the Academic Success Center. Even if you're not on the Alva campus, you can email him. You should be able to contact him via phone. I've heard, or Dr. Mackey assures me that he is a great resource for composition work if you're not used to using APA style. I will correct APA style for the first few weeks. After that, we'll start taking points off for not having correct APA citations. The 10 to 12 page paper, it is describing a leadership issue or problem within higher education. We will go over a lot of them. I want you to use information from the textbook, but also you're going to need to utilize the library. It is online. If you are unfamiliar with it or need help, you can ask me. I'll do what I can, but also the librarians, that's what they're there for. Please use them. Even if you're not on campus, you can email, they will help you find sources, tell them what you're looking for. If you need help with topics, you can talk to me. I'm here to help you throughout every step of this paper process. It is the bulk of the points of this course, so you do need to do well on it. If you blow off all the other stuff and then do badly on your paper, it's really going to affect your grade. So be mindful of the points. Your point total is usually available to you on Blackboard. Keep an eye on it. If you're, if you're not getting the grade you want, you're probably missing something. One of the biggest issues, well, actually, I'm going to get to that here in a second. Sorry. Actually wait for questions as well. The other bulk of the points in this class is the online posting. Each week you will have 2 discussion posts. You are required to respond to at least 1 classmate per discussion post. So we'll be writing 2 posts and responding to 2 classmates minimum. I have several people who skip that response. It's not worth all that many points, so they skip it. It does add up. It will cost you a letter grade. And if at the end of the semester, you're 1 or 2 points off a letter grade, I'm not giving it to you, because all you had to do is spend 5 minutes doing 1 response and you would have gotten those 2 points and you would have gotten that grade. So keep that in mind. I'm going over mistakes that other classmates have made in the last 5 years. The first major assignment that you will have, it is due September 19th, so a month from today. It is a reading list. And basically this is the beginning of the research for your paper. You will look for 10 sources. the description is there listed in the syllabus, as you can see right here. This is where you will get with a librarian if you're not familiar with how to use EBSCOhost and things like that. This is where you will, and this is also known as an annotated bibliography for anybody who has done that sort of work. Basically, you will find these sources, do a short summary, and then turn that into me. But if you find something, pick a topic from one of your sources that you found, a lot of your research is already done. And so that's the beginning. The next assignment is a book review. My recommendation is to read a book over the topic that you plan to write about, and potentially read a book from your reading list. So this is also getting you one step closer and contributing to your final project. A video presentation is required. You can record yourself on Zoom. You can use one of the many softwares out there. I don't really care. But you can either do it over one specific area of higher education where I discuss the leadership, or what I would actually prefer, hopefully, is that you're far enough along you can do it over your research topic. But that is up to you. The Zoom meetings are optional. There will be one every month until the end of school. If nobody shows up, I probably won't stick around. There is 850 points total in this class. So like I said, there's quite a few points. So you do have some room for error, but please be mindful, make sure that you're getting the grade that you want out of this class. Discussion posts are due Friday, responses are due Sunday. I leave it up to that because I do understand that I'm an online student as well. And sometimes Wednesdays, things early in the week are just not possible for me to get to. And so that's why it's due Friday. If you see me not taking points off because you submitted it Saturday, don't worry about it. I usually don't bother looking at the date as long as it's done by Sunday. The discussion board protocol here, it's just general stuff until I get to the bolded stuff here. Great job. I agree. Great post. It's not a sufficient response. I need at least 3 sentences per response. The ideal response should be about 100 words. Your ideal post should be about 200 words. I don't word count, but if it's really short, I'm probably going to ding you for it. But like I said, I will not. And if it's 3 sentences of I agree, great job, like you are not the teacher. Either talk about what we're talking about or what they were talking about, but that will not fly for points. Discussion posts. So when I say that I won't take points off if it's done by Sunday, if it is not done by Sunday, you will get no points. There's no excuse for not doing your discussion when it's due. I do not give late. I do not take points for late discussion posts because we've already moved on. Nobody's going to read it. It's gone. So please keep that in mind. Plan accordingly. If you've never taken an online class before, which is unlikely at this point, it's just like any other class. Pick a day and time every week and do your work. And then you don't have to worry about, whether work is late or not. As far as assignments go, I am a little bit more lenient. I do understand that things happened. And if you're having trouble, reach out to me. I'm more than willing to help you. But I'm willing to work with you on assignments. I will probably take 10% off, at least if it's not due on the due date. But like I said, talk to me. I'm willing to work with you on those. Because those have nothing to do with the rest of the class. You're not affecting your classmates by doing that. There's not a whole lot. The course schedule here is here at the end of the syllabus. The syllabus is in the Blackboard side under syllabus. This has the dates. This is just kind of refer to this for the rest of the semester. Can you share? Now I'm going to go on to just a brief PowerPoint presentation, and then I'll take questions, and then we'll be done. Could I get a thumbs up if people can see them? Okay, great. So this is being a successful grad student. It is a little bit snarky. So, because I've, like I said, I've dealt with grad students for, since 2014. So 7 years now. And I love you guys, and I am one, but you're the worst. We are the worst, and it's not our fault. We've got lives, we've got kids, we've got partners, we've got careers that drive why we're in grad school. So I think we have an excuse, but this is just some tips for being a good student and realizing the difference between grad work and undergrad work. I'm gonna go ahead and skip this, or actually, I'm gonna go back. So I'm gonna do a brief talk about the differences between grad and undergrad work. Undergrad work, you were there for many reasons. Some are career driven, some are not, but the work you do is different. There's not a lot of busy work in grad school, and in grad school, you are working towards your own goal. No one's here making you, this isn't something that just people just do. I mean, you've made a decision to pursue grad school. It's not fun. It's not supposed to be fun. Sometimes it is, but and so we expect a higher standard. We expect you to take responsibility for your own learning. Because you want to be here. You see the benefit of being here. The thing I always enjoy about grad work is, and I let you do it in this class, is being able to choose what I write about, choose what I research. I've always had, in almost just about every class, I've had the choice of topic, or at least subtopic, to pursue what interests me. And so that's why you'll find a lot of things are open-ended in this class and in the one I teach in the spring, because I want you to explore and choose to study what is going to help you be better at your job or be more knowledgeable about your field. If you're a coach, tailor everything towards athletics. I'm A-okay with that. If you teach if you teach K through 12 and you're here for whatever reason, you can talk about K through 12. If you work at Northwestern, talk about what you do use what you're doing at Northwestern to drive what you're researching, or make you more knowledgeable in your field, whatever works for you. So that's my spiel about graduate work. This is also probably a moot point at this, because I'm pretty sure after COVID, everybody has technology, and I see most of you are at home, so you obviously have the technology that's needed. But just keep in mind, you need to have personal laptop. Do not rely on campus Wi-Fi, campus library hours, things like that. The phone or the tablet, I think, works well now. I'm not sure. I have not used one on Blackboard for many years. I've already talked about treating this like a traditional class, pick a time and day. I already talked about that. I've already talked about being responsible for your own learning. You need to read the course materials and the assigned readings, watch the videos. I don't necessarily expect you to read every single detail. I do share a lot of research studies. I don't even read the entire research study when I'm doing research. I generally read the introduction, the sections of the lit review that are relevant to me, and then I usually skip to the results and the conclusions and the discussion, because that's where the bulk of the information that you're going to need is. Now I have to, now that I'm in my PhD program, I have to talk about methodology, but you guys don't have to worry about that. Skip over it. Don't bog yourself down in the methodology sections of these research papers that I share, unless you want to. But that's usually where in my first few weeks in grad school, that's where I would stop, because I'm not a quantitative reasoning person. I'm not a graphs and tables person. And so usually that's where I stopped. And I'd get frustrated and just move to the discussion and the results. That's where the important stuff that you'll need to know is. I probably don't have to say this, but weddings, vacations, pregnancies, I'm probably a little bit more lenient with the pregnancy, but they're not valid excuses. They're not submitting assignments. You're the one that chose to enroll during this time. If you let me know beforehand something's come up, I am more than willing to work with you. If it's a medical emergency or, family emergency of some kind. But if you wait till after the fact and then try to tell me that something happened, I'm still probably going to be fairly understanding, but I'll be a little bit more skeptical. This is also probably not needed if you don't know how to use Blackboard. These sites are helpful. Discussions I've pretty much already talked about. This is where you apply what you've read. This is where you interact with your classmates. My suggestion is to go above and beyond the requirement. The more you post, the more you apply what you've learned, the more it sticks with you. I really, really encourage you to engage back and forth with your classmates. I always enjoy it when you have a group of students who it's like they found a partner, and every week that's who they back and forth with. And it's always great discussion, and I always encourage that. But I also encourage, finding a different friend in class to discuss things with. I will sometimes jump in on discussion, but it won't be every week. Just so you guys know, don't be waiting on me to do that. Grammar and punctuation. Please, please, please use grammar and punctuation. This isn't a text message. You wouldn't believe the number of people who don't use capitalization or punctuation in their posts. And that's absolutely not acceptable. This is not your cell phone. We are not texting. So just keep that in mind. Communicating via email. In an online class, communication with me needs to be done via email. There really isn't anything that warrants a phone call. Please don't look me up on the WSU website and call me at work. I have had that happen at every job I've ever had since I left Northwestern. Please don't. Please read the words and the announcements and in the emails I send. If you still don't understand, email me, let me know. But that's the biggest thing that we need to do, that I see that people are lacking, is just the ability to communicate via the written word. It is still relevant. So please do your best. If you absolutely need to call me, send me an email with your phone number and a time to call you, and I will give you a call. You needing extra time to do something, or not all that stuff can be handled via email. Your WSU student email is the official communication from the university and Blackboard. That is where I will email you. If you want to set it up to where you get it at a different email, that's totally up to you, but I will not change. Like, that is where you're going to get your email. If you are an employee and you also have an employee email, I'm still going to email you at your student email. Like, it's 2021. We can all handle more than a few emails and keep track of them. Also, the communication via email creates a written record, which is in your best interest as well as mine. That way, if I'm communicating something unclearly, you can come back and say, well, this is what your email said, and vice versa. So just keep that in mind. I already talked about the paper and the Academic Success Center. These links are also in the Blackboard site, but the Purdue, I don't know why I can't enunciate today. The Purdue OWL website, Purdue Online Writing Lab, is what I have always used for my APA style throughout my entire 2 programs. This is just to help you write better. It honestly wasn't something I utilized until grad school. And once I started using it, I was like, oh, well, that actually makes writing a lot easier. There's also a plan called the PEAS plan. Feel free to use it if you know it. But your paragraph should start out with the main idea, followed by evidence, followed by analysis, and then a sentence that summarizes everything and then leads on to the next paragraph. Organizing your writing this way makes things so much easier because you know exactly what needs to go in your paragraph, and you can sit there till you figure out where it fits. If you need any help with that, like I said, reach out. I enjoy writing at this point, but I know that most people absolutely abhor it. So I do understand that. I've gone over most of these already. So I'm going to skip them, not to repeat, and that's the end of the slideshow. Are there any questions?
For the first discussion, I saw that you said that we needed to cite, do we need to cite our initial post or the response to the initial post?
Just the initial post for
Okay.
this. Yeah. I don't. So for the initial post is, I think the way I have it is that's the only one that requires a citation. I think I'm not requiring it for the response at this time for this class. So I just want a source for your initial post. And if you see that different somewhere, let me know and I'll take it off.
I think I may have been a little bit confused because I read the chapter and I went over the article, but I'm not sure that I discussed both of those in the discussion.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
And you don't have to cite the book. You can do your own research and cite whatever you want to cite as long as it's on topic.
Okay.
Same with the articles. I mean, I want you to read them, but if you find something better, use it for sure. But I just want a source cited, just so that I know that you got your information from somewhere and it's not all coming from you. Are there any other questions?
Only that content folder, you said it was empty and you would do that later or something.
I'll look in the syllabus and maybe make some changes there. I will put something there, but it's not going to be required. It's going to be supplemental information. I used it at one point, and then I think I just started using the information tab for everything. And think last year I had it removed. So nobody could see it, but yes, I will put some supplemental information there throughout the course. So then that's really everything. I know that that's a lot for new grad students, especially, but I'm willing to work with you throughout the whole ordeal. If you want me to look at something before you turn it in, I'm willing to do that. Throughout your paper, if you want to have a brainstorming session via Zoom, I'm okay with that too. We can sit and talk about ideas. So keep that in mind. And for email, I'm pretty instant. It goes to my phone, and you usually send out a response within minutes. And if not minutes, it's within that day. Unless it's over the weekend, you'll rarely go more than 24 hours without hearing from me. So I'm a pretty quick turnaround on
So
that.
would you prefer us to give you a title of our topic via email, or do you want that like in a discussion board, type of
I would
topic?
like you to email it to me.
Okay.
That would work the best. I don't mind necessarily if topics are the same. But if they are, I will be looking at your papers. I mean, if 5 of you write over the exact same topic, you can guarantee those are all going to go through the Safe Assign database, because I've had that happen before. And I fell for it the first year. I think I never went back and checked, but so I do. If I do, I don't do that for everybody, but if I do suspect something, I will run it through the I can't remember what it's called. But so do keep that in mind. If there's not any other questions, I'll let you guys go. I really appreciate you showing up and being here today. And
thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. I think this is going to be a good year. I've dealt with some leadership issues recently, so I'm kind of fired up. I mentioned I would talk a lot about generational differences. And the last 3 years, I have my bosses are millennials. They're my age. It's the first time in my life that I've not worked for somebody who's considerably older, or 10 to 20 years older than me. And so it's been interesting. And so I will talk about that some. And so I hope it's a good year. I hope it's a good year just across the board. I hope things are improving. I know the last year and a half, year and 8 months has been pretty rough for a lot of people. And so I want this class to be a positive place where we can, talk about the things that are affecting higher ed and students and the country in general. So if you need anything, reach out, because I'm generally accessible via email within minutes. And welcome. And I'm going to go ahead and end because I am done talking. Oh, yes.
One of my teammates, he had trouble accessing the Zoom call.
Okay.
And he just wanted me to let you know.
Okay. I'll have this up probably by tonight, so he can just watch it. But yeah, thanks for letting me know. And that's what I love about this class too, is you guys kind of all look out for each other. So, all right. Well, have a great weekend, guys, and good luck with the upcoming term.
All right. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You too. Nice to meet. Yes.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I was late. My link wasn't working. I was off of Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Did I miss what all did I miss?
I'm recording this, so I'm gonna upload it here shortly.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good night, guys.